Right now, next up is Frank Scaturro, and Frank is a attorney, constitutional attorney. Whoa. All right, constitutional, right? You know what that means, right? We're looking to change the law. We want it to be changed. Frank Scaturro is from Long Island. He has run in the past for many organizations, and I got to ask Frank something. Frank, come on up here, Frank. Does this neighborhood look? How are you? Welcome. Does this neighborhood look familiar to you?
Well, it sure does. I used to work for the Senate just over the hill over here. Worked with the Senate Judiciary Committee as a staff counsel, where we worked to confirm good constitutionalist judges. It's great to be with you here today.
I'm sorry, I'm going to switch mics. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sal, fellow Long Islander.
We live on Long Island.
So glad to be with all of you here today in the shadow of the Capitol building. You know, when you look up at that dome, which was completed during the Civil War, you see not only the present, but also the past. If you want to see the future, look at the children among you. You know, many of us who get involved in politics find ourselves so caught up in the issues that capture the headlines that we don't take enough time to focus on the equally important issue that brings us here today. When we talk about family, we talk about nothing less than the foundation our civilization is built upon. It comes before government itself. In the absence of family, it's hard to imagine how government could succeed in encouraging a society that is either free or happy. This is especially true in a system like ours, where our founders gave us limited government designed to protect personal freedom. Government is limited because we have a vast social fabric that does the job of rearing a population with the values and abilities that make our country work. That fabric includes institutions of faith and community, and it is held together by the bonds of family. Government should do a better job respecting the autonomy of family, not to mention the religious and other cultural institutions that help families play the primary role in rearing children. When that social fabric is torn apart, every other service that government tries to perform suffers, starting with education. As the beneficiary of a nurturing and supportive family, I recognize that values are most effectively instilled in children when they come from both parents, and family has time after time proven the most effective protection from want. This last observation may seem obvious, but our society has not always heeded it. Over the last 50 years, we have seen an alarming breakdown in the family. This could well have contributed to our predicament today. For the first time in centuries, parents are telling their children that they will enjoy a lower standard of living than they did. The most dire consequences come when children are born out of wedlock and one parent has little involvement in the child's upbringing. It used to be politically incorrect to point out, as future Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan did during the 1960s, the connection between poverty and illegitimacy. Now the connection is clearer than ever, so we're relearning this lesson the hard way. A strong family can mean the difference between growing up free to pursue the most rewarding vocation in life and falling victim to the scourges of drugs and gangs. With too many parents neglecting to be involved in their children's lives, the last thing government should do is stand in the way of those who are trying to be responsible parents to their children. Ronald Reagan put it well. Families, he said, must continue to be the foundation of our nation. Families, not government programs, are the best way to make sure our children are properly nurtured, our elderly are cared for, our cultural and spiritual heritages are preserved, or perpetuated, our laws are observed, and our values are preserved. Thus, it is imperative that our government programs, actions, officials, and social welfare institutions never be allowed to jeopardize the family. We fear that government may be powerful enough to destroy our families. We know that it is not powerful enough to replace them. 100 years after President Reagan's birth, we still know that government is a poor substitute for families. Sure, sometimes circumstances are dire enough that strong government intervention is needed to protect children. But our legislatures and our courts should recognize as a general rule that children need both parents to instill in them the strongest values, provide them the best education, and give them the best chance in life. We are all so lucky as Americans to have inherited a legacy that is the product of generation after generation sacrificing for their children. Let the next generation be able to say that they had an even greater legacy bequeathed to them by this one. Thank you so much, and keep true to your values. God bless.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
Frank, let me ask you, buddy. Thank you very, very much for being here today. But I just want to say, wouldn't it be great if we could get someone like this in Congress as one of our congressmen, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting right in that building over there, advocating for families and children. We need someone like this. So we hope you're going to run, okay?
Absolutely.
I don't know where, when, and how, but soon you may be. Take up the challenge. All these good folks throughout the country, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of families that have been destroyed, need your help. And let's go get them, buddy.
I'm here to help.
You're here to help.
Absolutely.
Very
Never
good.
give up.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Yeah.